Hello and welcome back to Kitchen Tips with Spread Some Magic. Today we're going to talk eggs and milk. The first one, when should I use pasteurized eggs versus unpasteurized? And does it change the flavor or cooking properties of the egg? And it says most of the time you can use either, but it might take a little extra work to whip pasteurized eggs properly. Pasteurization of eggs has become popular as a way to combat potential salmonella bacteria. The pasteurization process involves passing the eggs through a series of warm water baths. The combination of time and temperature heats the eggs enough to kill potentially harmful bacteria, but not enough to cook the eggs. The eggs are then chilled and coated with an all-natural wax sealant to prevent recontamination and to maintain freshness. If you've ever bought fresh eggs from a farm, once you wash them, they must go into the fridge. If they haven't been washed yet, they can actually sit out and it is okay for the egg. To see how pasteurized eggs stacked up against the unpasteurized variety, we made Caesar salad dressing with both pasteurized and unpasteurized raw yolks and meringues from the whites of each. We didn't detect any differences in the two dressings, but that was not the case with the meringues. We immediately noticed that the pasteurized whites were much looser and more watery than their unpasteurized counterparts. What's more, the pasteurized whites took more than twice as long to whip into a stiff and glossy meringue. It's good to know when making macarons or baked Alaska or whatever. On the whole, we still prefer to continue to use ordinary eggs for most recipes, especially those for baked goods. But if you're wary of making mayonnaise, eggnog, or Caesar salad dressing using raw eggs, pasteurized eggs are safe and acceptable option. Number 2. If a recipe calls for whole milk, can I use low-fat or skim milk instead? While skim milk probably won't ruin a recipe, whole milk or even 1% will make it that much better. We've all seen those recipes that specify what kind of milk to use, whole, non-fat, low-fat. But in the end, does it really matter? Can the average palate detect a difference, or are they pretty much interchangeable? We tested whole milk, which is 3.5% fat, 1% milk, and skim milk, which contains less than 0.5% fat, in 3 recipes: pancakes, yellow layer cake, and chocolate pudding. Each recipe originally called for whole milk. While a couple of very particular tasters could pick out the pancake made with skim milk, the majority could not discern much difference between any of the pancakes. So you can use whatever you have in your fridge. Not so much with the yellow cake though. Tasters found the cake made with skim milk to be dry and tough, and the cake made with whole milk to be moist and tender. Surprisingly, the cake made with 1% milk was very similar to tenderness of the whole milk cake. So it definitely needs some fat. The pudding made with skim milk was by no means a disaster, but it was nowhere near as rich and creamy as the pudding made with either 1% or whole milk. Moreover, the puddings made with the higher fat milks were thought to taste more chocolatey and decadent, with whole milk pudding have a distinctively velvety mouthfeel. Fat is the flavor carrier. Anyhow, thanks for joining me today, and be sure to spread some magic wherever you are.